join with my overwhelming bipartisan majority of senators and House colleagues in delivering a message of unwavering support for our friends in Israel. And I want to congratulate my friend, the senior senator from Oklahoma, for his very fine speech just now, and to associate myself with every single remark that he made, and congratulate him on making it so eloquently. We've all seen the devastation from Hamas's brutal attacks. We need to send this clear signal from both sides of the aisle and both ends of this building. Israel has a right to self-defense, just as we in America deserve a right to self-defense, and Israel is entitled to our full support. Madam President, the weeks ahead will require decisive action from Congress and decisive action from the White House. We must ensure our allies are armed to the teeth as they enter what amounts to a Hamas fortress across the border in Gaza. They must also receive the tools they need to keep Hezbollah in the north and the Palestinian Islamic Jihad at bay. And we must stand united against Hamas's patron, the Islamic Republic of Iran. Israel needs more Tamir interceptor missiles for the Iron Dome system. They need them immediately. We have several hundred in inventory, and the administration should use its drawdown authority immediately to send these missiles without delay. We need to pass a supplemental appropriation bill to accelerate Tamir production in Israel, even as the United States builds our own Tamir manufacturing capability here in the United States by 2025. Congress should also support the delivery and production of more precision-guided munitions and ammunition for Israeli ground forces, as well as expansive intelligence sharing. And there are many questions, Madam President, about intelligence failures and shortcomings leading up to this terrorist attack. This episode again highlights that our national defense is far behind where it should be. Some of us have been raising this point for a long time. I've been making this point long before I was able to become ranking member of the Armed Services Committee. The administration needs to send Congress a funding request that fully resources the United States military for a rapidly worsening threat environment in Israel, in the Middle East, in Ukraine, in Europe, and in the Western Pacific. For over 7.5 decades, Israel has made every effort simply to be a peaceful democracy in a dangerous area of the world. Hamas wants to end the nation of Israel. That is part of their charter. It's in writing. That is their goal. And, our fellow American citizens are also victims of the Hamas violence. We've lost more than 20 fellow Americans to these terrorists. And of course, we know that some are being held captive. Millions of Americans are praying today that they come home. The people of Israel know that there can be no return to the pre-war status quo. The pre-war status quo, the pre-October 7th status quo is over. Israel must now destroy Hamas, no matter how long it takes. As it pursues this goal, no nation should give Hamas terrorists safe haven. Iran should not give Hamas terrorists safe haven. Tehran's support for this war makes one thing clear. We successfully deter bad actors only through unmistakable signals of American strength. We need to return to the maximum pressure policies of the previous Trump administration. And we can match that financial pressure with a heightened defense posture in the region. We must also examine why Iran and its proxies believed they could get away with this heinous massacre. We know, for example, that the Biden administration's Iran policy, and this pains me to say, Madam President, the Iran policy was led by individuals who were actually part of an Iranian government information operation. One of those individuals has been relieved. Another of those individuals, Dr. Ariane Tabatabai, inexplicably remains in the office of the Secretary of Defense. 30 senators have joined me in a letter asking for answers on this. We need answers now on why this is still allowed to happen and what steps the administration will take to remediate it. We should support the continued Arab-Israeli peace efforts, which President Trump initiated through the Abraham Accords. While I disagree with many of the Biden administration's Middle East policies, I strongly support the recent Saudi-Israeli peace initiative. Hamas clearly hopes their terrorist attacks will grind this process to a halt. I'm grateful that many of our Arab partners, in the face of extreme pressure and hardship, still see the true nature of Hamas today. They understand that Hamas is an Iranian-backed terrorist organization who wants to wipe Israel off the face of the map. Many of our Arab partners have fought and defeated similar organizations like Hamas within their own borders. So I urge the Biden administration today to emphasize the shared Arab-Israeli interest in Hamas's defeat so that Arab-Israeli peace efforts can continue to progress. And finally, let me say this, Madam President. I can state with confidence that the people of my state are with Israel. My office has received a remarkable outpouring of support for Israel from the people across Mississippi. We express that support in word and deed. The 3 flagship Navy corvettes of the Israeli battle fleet were built by the skilled craftsmen of our Mississippi shipyards. Think about that. Mississippi-made hulls carrying the flag of the Star of David are being used to protect the Israeli people from further attack. This is just one example of our common cause. With the people of Mississippi and with the overwhelming majority of senators on both sides of the aisle, I call upon all of us to stand united in support of an Israeli victory. Thank you, Madam President.